Well, if it isn't Mr. and Mrs. YouTube
subscriber.
Got a lot of nerve showing your face around here as you haven't been around in the past 4 to 5 days. Well, that's mainly because I haven't really uploaded in the past 4 to 5 days. Aside from that, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be bringing a little bit of that spicy content for you all. I ended up putting out a post on my community tab for those of you guys that might be out of the loop, and I was talking about, hey, you know, with Save the World now having cram session in, well, session, nothing much going on in terms of heroes, weapons, news, or content, what kind of videos would you guys like me to upload in the meanwhile? And one of the comments that I saw said, I would like to see your top 9 favorite loadouts, and well, I'm not going to be doing a top 9 because I don't want to waste your time, but I'm going to do a top 5, and this might be the start to a new series if this is something that might intrigue you guys, and something that you might want to see later on down the line. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the top 5 loadouts that you need to try within Fortnite Save the World. Now, these are going to be in no particular order. None of these loadouts are meant to be the best loadouts in the game or super meta or anything like that. In fact, a lot of these loadouts are actually very niche and kind of unique and separates themselves across from the tactical assault sledgehammer and Beetlejuice builds, and I figured that I'd do this kind of series to just kind of, you know, every now and again put out a video like this and show you guys 5 different loadouts that you can use in Save the World to perhaps have a little bit more fun within the game. So yeah, that's pretty much all the introduction that I want to do. Let's go ahead and jump into the video and let's get talking about the 5 loadouts that are in today's, well, video. Alrighty boys, so just like I said at the beginning of the video, in today's top 5, none of these are listed in any particular order. They're definitely not competing with each other, so the number 5 spot is going to be no worse than the number 1 spot, and the number 1 spot is going to be no better than any of the ones that are under it. This video just serves to show 5 different loadouts that you might not already know about, and 5 different loadouts that might improve your enjoyment of the game. So without further ado, let's go and jump into it with the number 5 spot, which is my quest and V-Buck farmer, Thunder Thora. Now, whenever you're thinking about Thunder Thora, the last thing you're really going to think about is a farmer, so what exactly is this loadout? Well, this loadout is definitely something that any Save the World player should be using, as it's perfect for farming up V-Bucks and farming up the fetch quest with the least amount of effort possible. Whenever there is a V-Buck alert that is in Stonewood or Plankerton, or whenever Epic Games puts out a new fetch quest and you want to get it done as quickly and as painlessly as possible, this is your go-to loadout. Thunder Thora is a character that will cause any of the husks that walk onto her base to take damage. As a higher end player, even around Canny Valley, you will be able to easily AFK these missions by just starting the mission, putting down your base, throwing a few tiles on the floor, and just let the husks try to get to it and they will die on their way there. It's perfect for whenever you can go to a single atlas and say you need to destroy trees for a certain kind of fetch quest objective. So you just go to the atlas, you start it, place your base, put some tiles, and then run around the map and get your fetch quest done. Once you complete the objective, then you just wait for the timer to run out for you to win the mission, and then you move on to the next actual fetch quest. It is the easiest possible way to get done with fetch quests, to pay attention to the dialogue, or to get any of the V-Bucks without having to go into public or actually put in any sort of effort. Just go into a mission, place your base, place some tiles, and you are done. Thunder Thora is perfect for this kind of stuff, and I feel that every single Save the World player could definitely benefit by having her as a loadout. Now, moving on from that, we're going to be talking about my favorite ninja in the game, and I see so many people sleeping on this ninja because a lot of people use Paleo Luna instead, but this is actually a base game ninja known as Deadly Blade Crash, and this is my one-shot melee loadout. This character right here, like I said, is entirely just completely slept on in my opinion. I don't really see many people aside from myself using her, and she is by far my favorite melee ninja in the game. What she can do is she has corrosive strikes, and what those corrosive strikes do is they apply an affliction tick after a crit on an enemy. Now, normally in Save the World, your crits are going to be really, really bad. Anytime you put affliction on a weapon or have anything affliction based, normally you're not really going to get too much damage out of it. But with Deadly Blade Crash, in a solo mission, you're going to be hitting around 200,000 damage ticks, even around 300,000. Whenever you're in a full game, you're going to be hitting around 500,000 in terms of the tick damage that you can get from this character, meaning that anytime that you decide to use a heavy attack on a melee that ends up in a crit, you can easily one-shot stuff like smashers, as you'll hit them just once with your actual melee, and then their health will tick down over time, and then they'll die with you only having to press one button. I absolutely love Deadly Blade Crash as a ninja, and I feel like a lot more people would benefit from using her. One thing I definitely do recommend on this loadout is totally rocking out, because your actual affliction ticks do have a chance to crit, as well as using Fire of the Dragon, which is with hybrid, because with her affliction ticks causing so much damage, getting that one extra tick with hybrid is definitely really nice and can result in a kill that you otherwise might not have gotten with only one attack. Moving on from this, we actually have a very interesting loadout that I saw a lot of people using around a certain time, but it's kind of died off as time has gone on, and we're talking about my Raven mini boss killer loadout. A lot of people don't really think about lefty and righty as being a fantastic ability, but with Raven, it is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Using Raven with Happy Holidays as well as the Where's Lefty support team perk, you can absolutely lay into any mini boss, any smasher, or any big group of enemies with lefty and righty at a very consistent basis. Basically what you can do is you can have Raven in your commander, which is going to give you an explosive shot lefty and righty, Happy Holidays, which will reduce the cooldown of lefty and righty, Where's Lefty, to where every single pistol and SMG elimination will take 1 second off of lefty and righty, and then you can also give another lefty and righty buff with the new hero that we got, as well as an SMG buff and some Warcry buffs, because putting Warcry with this lefty and righty will deal massive amounts of damage. And normally I don't really like ability based loadouts, but because of stuff like Happy Holidays and because of stuff like Where's Lefty, you can actually use lefty and righty and your Warcry so many times during a defense that it makes absolutely no sense not to have a Raven on your team, especially if you're going to be dealing with some high health targets that you need to get taken care of. He's perfect for elemental smashers, regular smashers, mini bosses, and big crowds, as it will have an explosive shot, and you could deal with a lot of enemies pretty quickly with this loadout. This is one of my favorite ability soldier loadouts in the game. I find it extremely enjoyable, and I feel like you will as well if you haven't tried it yet. Now moving on from this, we have my SMASHY freezer loadout, which is something that we kind of have a little bit of an inside joke on the Twitch channel. Joey, what is your Ice Queen loadout? This is my Ice Queen loadout. If you're looking for an Outlander that can do a great amount of ability damage and as well have a little bit of utility with that ability damage, this is the character you want to use. What Ice Queen will do is whenever she is using her seismic smash, she can freeze any target that is around her, including rushing smashers. The reason I like Ice Queen over Zenith is because whenever you're playing with Zenith, you are forced to use sniper rifles. Whenever you're playing with Ice Queen, you can use whatever you want, and your seismic smash is going to be up a lot of the time whenever you are going to need it. It's great for any enemies on the field, especially against those high health targets. It makes killing those high health targets a little bit more convenient so that your team can focus them down before they actually cause any great deal amount of damage. Unfortunately, just like with many things in this game, you cannot freeze the likes of a mini boss, but still smashers, especially in the high end content, can cause a little bit of damage to your bases at time, and being able to freeze them and keep them from destroying your base for a few seconds while your entire team can focus them down is absolutely amazing. It also kind of helps that seismic smash is one of my favorite abilities in the game, but I absolutely love the Ice Queen for her shock tower and seismic smash, as I'm not too big of a Teddy fan, and I think she's one of my more favorite heroes in the game, so I figured that if you guys haven't used her, she's definitely somebody that you can have a lot of fun with. Now to end this video off, I'm sure that this is a loadout that a lot of people know, but I'm gonna mention it anyways just to get it out of the way so that we don't have to mention it in future loadout videos. This is what I would call the it ain't much but it's honest work loadout, which is the material farmer. Of course, it is the Fossil Southie loadout. This is pretty much more of the common loadout that you would find in this game, but I figured I'd still mention it as it's still something that I use all the time to try to get ready for any future missions that I have to do, or sometimes before I live stream just to get a little bit of extra gear so I don't have to ask people for any kind of materials. So, you know, Fossil Southie, Blast from the Past, you're going to be getting a lot of energy over time, and it'll allow you to keep punching stuff and whatever. It's pretty soothing. Just throw on some music, load into a zone, and just start breaking everything. Fossil Southie's pretty straightforward. Just right click and you will get as many mats as your heart could desire. But aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. We discussed a way to farm up fetch quests and V-Bucks with the Thunder Thora loadout. We discussed a way to one-shot a lot of enemies with the Deadly Blade Crash loadout. We discussed a great ability build that can be used against mini bosses and smashers. We discussed a way to freeze smashers and freeze high health targets and allow your team to focus them down. And we also, of course, have the Material Farmer, Fossil Southie, which will punch everything on the map and get as many resources as he'd like. But guys, that's pretty much it for this video, and that's pretty much it for the top 5 loadouts that you need to try out. This has been episode 1, and if you guys would like to see any future episodes, then let me know down in the comments down below, as there is a ton of loadouts that you you can make in this game that are pretty wacky and enjoyable, and I could make some loadouts that are more so based around specific weapons if that's something that you guys would like to see in the comments down below. Of course, I'm not going to be doing your basic, tactical assault sledgehammer loadouts and, beetle jest, SMG, crit damage loadouts and all that other kind of stuff. I want this to be a little bit more of a special series that just outlines a few different loadouts that you can have a lot of fun with, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But guys, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.